Hello, how's it going, all of you beautiful people around the world? My name is Ryan, aka say it with me, Blackbeard TCG. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day, and if not, hopefully I can make it a little bit better. Now, look, as you guys see here, got my pre-release deck. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks if you guys want to be able to perform at your pre-release. I've gone to 2 now, and you guys see the title. It says I have a love and hate relationship with pre-release. We're gonna go over it. We're gonna go through the deck, and then I'm gonna give you guys my completely honest opinion about pre-releases. And you know, I'm gonna be a little bit of a downer. You guys are probably saying, "Oh, Ryan, like, you know," as you guys can see on the screen, you guys are probably saying like, "Oh, you got 21st place out of like 32 players." Like, of course you're gonna say that pre-release sucks and oh, it's just a skill issue, whatever. And to that, I would say, it might be a little bit of a skill issue. I might be a little bit salty about that. However, as I mentioned, I went to 2 pre-releases. First pre-release, you guys see the record on the screen. And then second pre-release, I went undefeated and I won. I won the Luffy. So, and that was within a 24-hour period. So unless I leveled up to some next level player, then yeah, I guess maybe that happened. But in reality, it didn't. Pre-releases are all luck. Obviously, as you guys know, it comes down to what you pull. There's an aspect of skill to it, but it comes down to what you pull. And we'll get more into that. But I basically just want to say my purpose of this video, I'm not saying it's bad because I came in 21st and won. I'm not saying it's good because I went undefeated in another. No, it's for other reasons, and we'll get to that. But for those of you that haven't played in your pre-release and you guys want tips, I'll give it to you. First and foremost, anybody that is telling you to play Zoro for this set specifically is trolling. They just want to farm free wins from people. That brings Zoro, okay? This is my honest opinion. The only 2 leaders I would say are viable for this set are Katakuri and Kid. And I would rank Kid as number 1, Katakuri is number 2. Why? Because Katakuri, you get a consistent 7k swing, you get information from your life, your opponent's life, if needed, etc. That's all fine and dandy. But Kid has that built-in win con of being able to swing twice for free, right? Like at the cost of 1 card. But let's be real, that's absolutely nothing, right? So if the game goes long enough and your opponent is not playing Kid and you're basically going to win. But there's going to be a lot of mirror matches. So it's Kid versus Kid, right? So at that point, again, in pre-release, there's so many things that you can't control. So you have to operate under the things that you can control. And the thing that you can control is your leader. So it's going to be a mirror match. It's going to be Kid versus Kid. If you play another leader, you'll probably be at a disadvantage. You could still probably win, but you have, in my opinion, you have the best chance of winning with Kid. And so because of that, there's going to be a lot of mirror matches. So that's a leader choice. Kid or Katakuri. Anything else, in my opinion, like, it's for funning, right? And if you are for funning, that's completely fine. It's a pre-release. Who cares, right? But that being said, let's go over the deck building philosophy. So I only pulled 1 blocker. Now, if you want to count Bartolomeo as blockers, that's fine. I personally had no situation in which I use it as a blocker. I always use it as a 2k counter. But obviously, you want to play whatever blockers you can. Merry Christmas is cracked because she can just come out of trigger and then you could use her as a blocker. So if you do pull Merry Christmas, then obviously you want to play that. But obviously deck building philosophy, just play as many blockers as you can, in my opinion. Then obviously everybody knows this. You play as many 2k counters. Like the fact that I pulled, I think it was 9 2k counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I had 9 2k counters. So would you say that this is the skill gap if I pulled 9 2k counters today and last pre-release I pulled 4 2k counters and 1 blocker? This pre-release I pulled 9 2k counters with 1 blocker, but 2 of the 3k counters, oh my god, I do this all in one take. 2 of the 2k counters are blockers, so I technically have 3 blockers. Like, it's random. This is what I'm saying. Like, pre-release, like, it is what it is. Like, I would say the percentage is probably 90%. No, okay, maybe that's too high. I would say it's probably 80% luck and randomness, 20% skill. Because there is still skill, right? Like, somebody could build the exact same deck and just pilot it like absolute shit. And you could say that about any leader in any deck, but especially in pre-release. But really, it's just luck. Because if you just don't pull 2k counters and a blocker, then you're kind of screwed, right? Now, here's where my Kid philosophy changed a lot from day 1 to day 2. And I've seen a lot of benefit. Like, my game plan didn't really change, but my philosophy and how I deck builded deck built kind of changed. So I decided to play as many events as I possibly could that were good. So we had the Red Rock, we had the Luffy card that like rests and pops. We have Nespalm Cannon, that's 6k counter. Dragon Breath 2k counter. Oh, we had two of these. Happiness Punch, Double Barrier, and yeah. So those were the events. Why did I play these defensive events? Well, again, we're in a format where you're not going to have that many 2k counters. Now, granted, for me, I had a bunch of 2k counters. But I wanted to be in a situation where I would be able to control board with these two cards. This card. This card specifically is very, very strong in this format, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But that card's really good, as well as Red Rock. These are going to be your removals. Everything else is defense in addition to the 2k counters that I have. Just so that way I could make sure I could live. That was my mindset. As long as I could live, I would be able to try to get double swings in. So that was my philosophy. And I tried to play like that the other day, but I didn't have as many defensive cards. So it didn't work. Again, it's RNG. But my philosophy with Kid was like, okay, put in more defense and then just swing like crazy. Like I was going up against my opponents and even like some of them were like, what the heck? Like, you're just going to attack me? Like, you're not going to clear my board? Like, no, I'm just going to swing face because if you don't have blockers and if I have defense, I will win, right? Like, it's quite literally as simple as that. So that was my mindset. Now, the MVP, if you can pull multiple of Daddy Mastersons, you, like, it's stupid, bro. It's so stupid because, like, it just sits on the board and swings every single turn. Every single turn. And so, unless somebody wants to Red Rock it, unless somebody wants to Dofi Smile it, right, you're going to be able to get consistent attacks off every single turn. One of the counters, however, for this card is this card. So if you can put it in, the Mole Girl, you can put her in, but you have to rest 2 Dawn, and then you can rest one of them. So if you do have 2 Daddy Mastersons, you have to swing with him first, but if you have 2, then this actually kind of counters it, which sucks. It's very situational, but you play this anyways. In my opinion, if you're playing Zoro, you could play it, but again, it's 4 cost, so, but I just played it so I could have a body. Now, the next cards are going to be your attackers, right? And so my mindset with these was I want to be able to attack with as little Dawn as possible because I want to be able to restand Kid and swing, right? That was my mindset. So what did I play? These cards are basically vanillas. I don't know what these cards do. Okay, except for Miss All Sunday because Miss All Sunday actually popped off when I was able to ramp an extra one. But outside of Daddy Master, like, this is a vanilla to me, this is a vanilla to me, this is a vanilla. I literally don't know what this queen does. I don't know what Chaka does at all. Like, I know it's something about Vivi, and that's about it. And then Miss All Sunday. So these are all cards I can swing without Dawn, which means I can have them on board, and I can just worry about swinging my leader. Now, of course, I didn't pull all those cards, so what about my other offensive cards? I played as many 4,000 power cards that I could have, right? And so you might be asking, okay, Ryan, well, at that point, why don't you play Zoro, right? Like you said, like Zoro, if you played Zoro and you just attach 1 Dawn, then you could do that. Well, guess what? Zoro can't double swing. Again, that's what I'm saying. The double swing is just so powerful. So for me, right, like say if I'm going first, right? Turn 2, I have 3 Dawn. I swing 5k. People will probably take that hit, or maybe they'll counter one card out of hand. That's fine. I play a 3k body. Next turn, right, I'm at 5 Dawn now. So now I can look to play another 3k body, or if I just want to start swinging, because they just played a card that they haven't swung with yet, then I just play Tom, for example. I attach 1 Dawn. Remember, I'm at 5 Dawn now. So I can just swing with Tom. Tom gets 5. And then now, if I want to play another... if I want to play another 3k, I can play another 3k and then just attach a Dawn to Kid, swing that way. I could just play Daddy Masterson. And then this, in a way, acts as a blocker because they don't want to, like, just get the board flooded because you went first. So they're probably going to attack this. But then you already developed Daddy Masterson, and then now they have to deal with that. And so that was my mindset. Like, I just wanted to get cards on board every turn and then swing as much as I could with Kid until I got to a point where I could just double swing with him. And then these cards, I basically used as counter, if they had counter. I almost never played these. So Chin Chow, Cavendish, again, can swing into active characters. Never did it a single time. Didn't play it a single time. I just discarded this with Kid. I think I discarded this almost every game. I don't know how I've seen it so much. Zoro, never played it. Banana Gator, never played it. Roki, never played it. I think I played Law 1 time because I had no other play really, and it made sense. I had 2 Laws. And then, yeah. So these cards literally were... Oh, yeah, and then her Juden. So these 5 costs and 1 6 cost card, literally, I don't think I played a single one of them, hard played them, except for one law in one game. Outside of that, I didn't play any of them. They were just counters to me. Because I was like, if I'm spending 5 Dawn, I would rather develop a 3-cost body and then swing 7. That was my mindset. I was like, do I value having this on board compared to this? Because I'm sure I could develop this, but then this is one less card out of my opponent's hand. And then sure, you could say next turn you kind of get 2, but then it's like, okay, but then next turn I could have developed a body, I can develop another body, or I can get 2 big swings with this and then also swing with this, right? Like that was my mindset. And then on top of that, I have like all this defense. So I don't know. That was my mindset. It worked. Maybe what I'm saying doesn't make any sense at all, but it worked for me. So yeah, but these cards were basically just all more defense, more counter. And then the last 2 cards, Sugar came up one time in which you can rest the blocker. But other than that, it was a counter the entire game. And then one Mr. 5, just because, again, it's pre-release. You got to play what you have. All my other cards were completely trash. I had no use in the deck. It had no synergy with the type of playstyle I was going for. This did come up once. It allowed me to KO a... Was it Merry Christmas? It's 4 costs or less, right? I don't even know. I don't remember. Yeah, KO one of your opponent's 4 costs or less characters on their turn when they attack. So they already had a Merry Christmas on board. Mr. 5, they attack, you rest him, and then you can go ahead and pop it back to your turn. Now all of a sudden, you can have a double swing angle that you might not have had, right? And then if they didn't have it, and then on top of that, you still have an 8 cost because they probably don't have anything to KO this because it's so high. And if they do, look at all this defense, right? So that was my mindset behind it. I wouldn't play multiple copies. I pulled 2 of them, but I only decided to play one because I was like, it has no counter, right? It is really nice too if you play it on your Tendon. Like if you go second or whatever, and like on your 10 Dawn turn, you play it, because then on your opponent's turn, because you still have 3 Dawn, right? So you could play this, develop a 3-cost body, or you could play this, swing 8, right? Turn goes back to you, or turn goes to your opponent. They do whatever, they swing, you can pop something, send 2 Dawn back, but then on your turn, you went from 10 Dawn to 8 Dawn, so you just go back to 10 Dawn, and then now you have double swing plus 8k swing. So like, yeah, that was my mindset. So that was a deck list. That's how I decided to build a deck. Why do I love and hate pre-release, guys? I love it because the environment. Being able to see not just like the fans of like the YouTube channel and people coming up to me and saying like, yo, bro, like I like your content, all that, and just talking about the game and stuff like that. Like I love that. But outside of that, the most important thing is opening up the packs, right? Opening up the packs itself with everybody is such a blast because when people have sick pulls, everybody gets excited. Like if you, again, I haven't been to like in-person regionals or anything like that, but I would assume like when you're at those events, your people are more sweaty, they're trying to focus, whatever. When you come to a pre-release, it's just fun times. Like, sure, I won this, but is this really worth anything? No, it's just like, I'll probably keep it in a pile, I'll just keep it. Like, but like for me, like it's not like a big tournament win or whatever, because it's a pre-release. Like it is what it is, right? But it's super casual and everybody just gets hyped. Like somebody pulled a Manga Sabo. They didn't pull it from their pre-release packs, but they bought a box. They pulled it there and everyone was excited. In the pre-release packs, people were pulling alt art Dolphy leaders, alt art Kaidos, and everybody's just getting hyped, right? Being in that environment is absolutely amazing because everyone's supportive, everyone's happy, everybody's excited, everyone's having a good time. That's the peak of pre-release. After that is building the pre-release decks. Like, I don't know how some stores do it, but like the time, some people like, I don't think you need 40 minutes to an hour to build a deck for pre-release. Like in my opinion, like it should be 15 minutes, bro. Like that's just me personally. Cause like the time to start rounds just takes so long. I don't know if all stores are like that. You guys let me know in the comment section below, but that's my first gripe. So yeah, I already went through all the good stuff. So here's the bad stuff. The next thing is that, for me personally, I don't like the fact that if you don't play Kid, you're at a huge disadvantage. You have to play Kid, you have to play Katakuri. Am I saying that you can't win with any other leader? No, I'm not saying that. Of course you can. But you have a very, very high chance if you just play Kid, or Katakuri, or Zoro, depending on the set. Any other leader is kind of for funning, which like I said, is fine. But then what that leads to is a bunch of mirror matches, which is boring. And so that's my biggest complaint for OPO. No, I was going to say for OPO4, for all of pre-releases. because like I don't see a pre-release where I will never not play Kid. I will always play Kid or Katakuri or Zoro if there's enough low-cost bodies like how they were in like OPO2 or whatever. If not, even then, I probably will still just bring Kid, right? And that's sad. That's sad because the best part of pre-release, hitting your peak, is opening up all the packs with everybody, feeling good, and then the deck building takes way too long, and then you go and you just face Kid after Kid after Kid after Kid. My last match, round 5, was against Katakuri, which finally I had a different matchup, and it was refreshing and fun. But it was just the same thing over and over and over again, and it's sad to say, but that's going to be every pre-release, and I hate it. Now, will I be attending every single pre-release? Yes, because that feeling of cracking open packs with everybody is an absolute blast, and I love that. But if I lose, like, round 1, maybe I'll probably think dropping after round 1. If I lose round 2, I'm peacing out, right? Like, I'm gone. There's no point at that point, right? And because it's like, do I want to play 5 rounds of just Kid mirrors, like, and not be able to win anything? Like, at least I was able to win this, right? But, like, why, if I'm not able to win this, why would I stay for 5 rounds just to play Kid mirrors? Like, no, thank you. I don't even like the deck. So if this is how pre-releases are going to be like going forward, which I think they will be, it friggin' sucks. It's terrible, but I'm still going because that camaraderie feeling, the good feeling from it is just so great. And I don't know if you guys would agree or disagree, but let me know that in the comment section below. Just be completely honest. Do you guys agree or disagree? I'm still of the proponent of you can only use the leaders for that set. Of course, there's still going to be some leaders that are better than others in set. Some leader abilities, you wouldn't be able to quite use them, right? Like Rebecca would, like, it doesn't really make sense, right? Being able to draw, and then if you don't have enough Dressrosa, if you didn't pull enough Dressrosa cards, all those things, like, yeah, okay, I get it, right? But in my mindset, it's like, and then people could say like, oh, but then you have to pull the leader. But what if Bandai just provided in every kit, right, in every 6 packs for the pre-release or whatever, you also got proxies of every leader, right? I feel like that would be a fantastic idea. Of course, that might cost more money because it costs more to print or whatever. But this is just my headcanon. That way you have access to all leaders and then you can just build your deck. Sure, there might be one leader in the set that everybody plays, right, from that new set. However, at least it would change from set to set, right? So it wouldn't just be Zoro, Katakuri, or Kid, right? Like every set, like this set, it might be, I don't know, what's a leader that came out in this set that could be good for pre-release? I'm trying to think. Definitely, probably not Vivi, probably not Rebecca, right? Probably not Queen, because Queen would be kind of difficult to build. Who else is there? There's Doflamingo. Doflamingo could probably work. Isho could probably work, right? So those would be those leaders. And maybe everyone just flocks to those leaders, right? They're just like, screw it, I'm just going to play. But at least there's that. And then come OPO5, you wouldn't see those leaders anymore. You probably see some people play Luffy. You probably see some people play Sakazuki. You guys see what I'm saying? Like, that's what, in my opinion, I feel like it should be. But with that being said, you guys let me know what you guys think it should be. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you guys think I'm right? Do you guys think I'm wrong? What are your thoughts? What leaders did you guys play? Did this help? Let me know all that good stuff in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.